Hello and welcome, students. This is a letter of complaint. Let us begin with the format. The format requires you to write your self-address. You may write a fictitious self-address, like the way I have written. Post office box 12345. I have written natural numbers. You may write the city and then you may write the country. The reason that I have written the city London and the country United Kingdom is that it is based on one of the impetus or the video that was shown in class, that is Yes Minister, the Compassionate Society. So we are writing this letter of complaint after watching that video. 4th of July 2021. This is the way to write the date. Avoid writing the date with 4.7.2021. That is unacceptable. When you're writing a letter for an English paper, for the English examination, you need to write using the spelled out format. And then we leave a line, and when we write the designation to whom you are writing this letter, we are writing this to the minister, the Minister of Health. The minister, which minister? The Minister of Health. And then we write about the Ministry of Health. We need to add the before it, the Ministry of Health, and then the city and the country. Once you have got your self address, date, and the address of the recipient in place, you are safe. And then we need to go on to the next part of the format. The next part of the format includes the salutation. Now, in this case, because we have seen the video, so we are fairly aware that the minister was a man. So, in case if you're not aware, you need to find out, you need to write whether sir or ma'am. But for the examination, if it has not been specified to you, you may write sir or ma'am as shown. Then the part of the format that includes is the subject. Remember, the subject is written after the salutation. That is, once you have grabbed the or got the attention of the person by saluting that person, only then you declare your subject of the letter. You do not write the subject of the letter before the salutation. It was previously used and it was declared as incorrect, and thus it is used now after writing the salutation. So the letter of complaint, you may write SUB as the abbreviation, that if you want to be cocksure that you don't use abbreviations and you don't lose on marks, you may write subject in the full form. And then letter of complaint, you can see my L is capital, O is a small, and C is capital. We use title case and we do not write more than 3 words for the subject. Do not write a sentence for the subject. It is not a place to write a sentence. You write as the way you write a title, maybe 3 words or maybe 4 words. I will go on to the format first before discussing the context with you over here. The format includes about three paragraphs, the content, and then you write thank you. You may space out, and then you write the subscription, that is yours sincerely. Please make a note that there is no apostrophe over here next with yours, because it is formal, it's a formal letter. And then you write your full name, the first letter capital, the surname with the first letter capital, and then you write certain designation or certain additional information about yourself. Do not leave this place blank. Now over here, this is the place for your signature. You may write your name again For example, I have used the name of one of my students. The name can be written once more in running letters. So this is the place for signature. Do not write your name first and write signature afterwards. That is also incorrect. Now this format is for 1 mark. It will fetch you 1 mark if you get your format, that is your self address, date, the address of the recipient, thanking you or thank you is modern, thanking you is old English, then subscription, that is your sincerely, signature, name, and the designation of the person. You will get 1 mark for that. The next comes the content of the letter. Now the content of the letter, I have not provided the content of the letter over here. This is just the structural letter I've shown over here. For the content, to build on the content, you need to revisit the video, that is Yes Minister, the Compassionate Society. Take down all the arguments that are against that particular, say for example, the hospital running without the medical staff or the without the patients. Collect the arguments as you've taken down during the notebook, during the class in your notebook, or if you're yet to watch the video Yes Minister, the Compassionate Society, kindly go ahead and watch it, and then record all the arguments which go against the hospital or the functioning of the hospital, and then you may write down that content over here. There are about 2 to 3 marks for the content. That depends on year after year the answer key as it is released by the CBSE. So working on your content is definitely essential. Next comes the expression or the language. That means the language that you've used, it should be formal language, and then it should be in passive voice. Passive voice, for example, the National Health Hospital was planned by the National Health Authority. Now, was planned, this is definitely, the sentence is constructed in passive voice. You need to use passive voice in your long writing. So language, for language you are judged, for tenses you are judged, and then last thing that comes is your accuracy. Accuracy is your construction of sentences, your grammar, and your punctuation. Now once you have got your marks in place for content, then CFC is that content, flu fluency and accuracy. Now for fluency you need to have transitional words also in place. For transitional words, when you have your content, you will add words like for example, and then you will construct a sentence, comma, and the sentences are given. Then you will say additionally, comma, and then you will give one more argument, moreover, comma, and then you will give one more argument. So this is how you are building your content using transitional words. For transitional words you get extra marks for fluency. Now I have not used it because I am giving this as a task. I want you to build on the content, fluency. This is just the structural letter that will take you through writing. Now first introduce yourself. I, comma, Madhur Sahu, comma. Now why these two commas are used? Because if you remove this name, I am a citizen, the sentence should complete that way. If you remove this, I am a citizen of the United Kingdom and would like to bring to your kind notice the issue of the National Health Authority and its mismanagement of the taxpayers' money. Now you are declaring the issue or the problem immediately soon after introducing yourself. The person would decide whether to read your letter or not at this point. So name is very clear, introduction to the person, and the issue is declared immediately after it. And this is the place where you need to build your argument. Now, I have not built the argument. I have not used transitional words because this is the challenge or the task that is given to you. But I have definitely used passive voice. The National Health Hospital was planned by the National Health Authority without allocating a budget for the health staff. For example, the hospital is running without a medical staff, but it has a whole lot of staff to manage administration. Moreover, it has sent a request to the health ministry to increase the budget to employ more staff. Additionally, it has also requested for additional medical equipment to support the functioning of the staff. Then you may go on to adding whatever information you need to add. To one's dismay and shock, the hospital administration was made functional 18 months ago with no medical staff and no service rendered to the patients. The administration budget was increased by health authority over the year, wasting the taxpayers' money in managing the hospital's unnecessary staff. Now, this is a structural sentence that I have provided. You may add more after watching the video. Yes, Minister, the Compassionate Society, what all more costs were added over 18 months to make the situation worse. And then we have it's a white elephant. White elephant means something that takes up a lot of money on the budget of the health authority with no health facility for the public. You need to close the letter. I humbly request you to set an inquiry into the functioning of the hospital and employ medical staff to make it functional for the general public. Remember the full stop. Then thank you. Yours sincerely, signature, and then for signature you write your full name and then your designation if you want to say you're a citizen of a country. So that makes your application or the letter of complaint complete. Please may make a note that you need to use formal language. You need to add content. You need to add words, transitional words for fluency in order to make this letter of complaint better in structure, in language, and score full marks. Thank you very much for your kind attention.